Hello and welcome to episode 3 of How to Create a Video Game in Unity. This week we will be tackling platform movement. Last week we tackled how to make the player jump, so if you missed that episode I'll put a link to that on the screen right now. That being said, let's jump in. So the problem we're trying to solve here is that when the game starts, move the platform a certain amount along the x-axis and continuously move the platform until, say, player death. So let's get started and create our script. Let's go to our ground game object, and then I'm going to show you a different way than from the previous episode. So if you'll go to ground and select add component, you can actually add a script right from that editor right there, and I'm going to be naming it platform movement. That way we already know that our script is attached to the right game object, and it's actually going to add this into our assets folder and not our scripts folder. So to keep it organized, let's just move it right on over. And before we jump in, I think it's important to mention that the way we're going to be doing this is instead of the player being able to traverse through the world, we're really having the world come to us. Lots of games use this technique. Most infinite runners, and even something as complicated as Animal Crossing, where you're essentially just running on a 365-degree treadmill. With that being said, let's jump into Visual Studio and create our first variable. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we want Unity to remember the original starting position of the platform. This is a little bit of preventative maintenance because we won't need it immediately, but in the future when our player dies or it's game over, we want Unity to remember where the platform was so that we can reset the position and try the level again. So we're going to create a vector3 variable and name it original position. And in the start method, we're going to set original position to where it currently is. So we're going to say original position equals this.transform.position. So the next thing that we need to do is actually write the function to make the platform move. Since we want the platform to move continuously, there has to be an element of time here. So that's why we're putting this in the update method. So essentially what we're saying is transform the platform this amount along the x-axis and multiply it by time.delta_time. Time.delta_time is the interval in seconds from the last frame to the current one. You'll see time.delta_time used a lot in Unity, and while this is getting a little bit technical, it's really important because it means that your game will be able to, whether you're running on 24 frames per second versus 60, because we're calculating the time that has passed between each frame, it means that your game will play the same, in terms of speed, that is. So let's jump back into Unity and see what happens when we hit play. And awesome, our platform is moving, just not in the right direction. So let's go back to Visual Studio and correct that. So I'm just going to change that 5 value to a -5. And make sure you're saving your file, and let's hit play again. And perfect, it seems like our platform is moving in the right direction. Our jump function is still working, however, we definitely want those enemy blocks to be moving with the platform as well. Now, I could attach the script that I just made to each of these enemy objects, or I could create a new one and change the speed, which I might do later. However, I'm just going to make these children of the ground parent object for now. And because I've done that, now you can see that each of my enemy objects flows with the platform, which is exactly what we want. However, as you can see, we have some issues. So we've made the player jump, we've made the platform and the enemy objects move, but now it's time to conquer player death. So to tackle player death, in the next episode, I'm going to be creating a lives manager. So I hope to see you there, and thank you so much for watching.